going to do a little bit of degreasing out on the deck with some strategically placed cardboard boxes so that none of the chemicals go and mess up the deck. And then I'm going to remove all of the oil and grit and shit from my bike, and I'm going to start again with some wax lubricant and see how quiet I can get that bloody thing. Now, bearing in mind this bike is well over 10 years old, and it had a fair workout when it was younger, and then it got really significantly, like dramatically neglected. It got put in a storage container for a couple of years, would you believe? Now, I'm just going to quickly speed talk you through the highlight of that little anecdote, and that is, there was a period where I had to put a lot of things in storage, so I had a container up in the country 300 kilometres from Sydney, and it sat in the baking sun, and it happened as well around the time of the fires, and the fires got within 1.2 kilometres of this container. So I was a little bit anxious at the time, you could imagine, because I had some of my worldly possessions in that container, shipping container. And I can tell you, in the middle of summer, inside those things, it is scorcher. How do I know? Because I went in and I collected all of my things eventually when the fires abated and it was time to travel again. This was back in the before time, before the COVID, before the pandemic, before the lockdown. Anyway, amongst the things that were in storage was my Scott Addict with this original Di2 group set. Now, I was absolutely certain that if it was 60 degrees in there when I had the doors open and was unpacking the furniture and the bikes and my collection of stuff, then surely when the doors were shut, the sun was baking on it and it was a warmer day, it would be temperatures above 70. Like, it would have been absolutely filthy hot in there, and I was convinced that there was no chance that the Di2 battery would have survived. I just thought that the plastic just would have done that thing, you know, like when a Mac battery in the olden days on the laptop used to just get a little bit too hot and it would just like, I've had that happen a few times. Anyone else remember those days? Anyway, for example, that's what I was expecting to happen. It didn't. I've been meaning to tell this story for quite a while. And it went like this. So I pulled the bike out, got everything back home, unpacked. And then I looked at the battery and I thought, no, has it exploded? I'm not sure. Because it had been in storage, let's say 2 years, while I was riding my preferred bike out on the road. Anyway, eventually got the Scott back. Eventually somehow found the original charge port for the Di2 battery, which was actually quite a challenge, probably a bigger challenge than anything else. Then I pulled off that chunky battery off the down tube and I fitted it in, and I turned on the light and it charged within a couple of hours. I put it back in and everything worked beautifully. Not only that, but the hoods hadn't perished, which they probably should have. Only probably saving grace was that they weren't in the baking hot sun, like in the direct sunlight. Had that happened, I'm sure that rubber would have just been manky. Actually, it just would have faded to dust, I'm pretty sure. But it was in the shade, so they survived. So there you go, that's my little Shimano appraisal. Like, if you have a Di2 original bike and you choose to neglect it and you put it in a shipping container in the baking hot summer, Australian summer sun, apply temperatures that are so hot that it would kill a man. The good news is, after repeated dosages of that heat, the batteries come out and they survive and they keep on functioning just like they're doing as I ride my indoor trainer during lockdown.